Dragonoids. Dragonoids are Bakugan. It is the very, very core of Bakugan. It's a Baku core. See what I did there? The majority of animes seem to have dragons as their main staple point. You got Beyblade with Dragoon, and you got Yu-Gi-Oh! With Blue Eyes White Dragon and Red Eyes Black Dragon, if you're that kind of person. And Bakugan's no different. It's got Dragonoid. Dragonoid is so important to Bakugan that the original voice actor for Drago in the original series is returning and currently voicing Drago again in the new show. I really want to meet you. Big fan. Sean Reimer. And considering I'm a fine collector of Dragonoids, as you can see here, this new series is no exception. So, today I'm going to compare the 3 main Dragonoids for the new show and see which one you should run in your Bakugan deck, since Bakugan decks are a thing now. And that's exciting. That's really cool. So, let's get started. Now, first things first, before I get to the Bakugan, I have to shout out something, and it's a little detail. You can see, here's a typical Dragonoid card, except it's black, and that means I have a sleeve on this. This is an Ultra Pro Eclipse. If you're building a Bakugan deck, a Magic the Gathering deck, any kind of deck, they even have small sleeves for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, as you can see. That's my Yu-Gi-Oh deck, also based around dragons, as I said. Make sure to sleeve up your cards. Ultra Pro Eclipses are terrific. They have a nice matte finish. They still show off the detail of the cards, and they keep them protected if you double sleeve. Look up how to double sleeve cards. It's really easy. All you gotta do is get inner sleeves and do it that way. Look it up. There's some great YouTubers, especially in the Magic the Gathering community, that will help you guys out with that. But back to the Dragonoids. So these are the 3 main ones. This is Dragonoid. As you can see here by the cards, I put them on their cards. Dragonoid Ultra and Hyper Dragonoid Ultra. Not to be confused with Hyper Dragonoid in the original series. They really need to make more Dragonoid names. I'm just going to say that. So let's get started with the main Dragonoid, as you can see here. In his ball form, it's pretty nice. Like, I remember I saw this for the first time, and I thought, that's Helios from the original show. That's like honestly what I thought. Sort of Delta Dragonoid vibes with the horn here. You can see the arms there. You can see the feet. It's very nostalgic, and you can see the tail. That's the one thing this one has going for it, unlike something like Dragonoid Ultra or Hyper Dragonoid Ultra. You can still see all of the extremities, which is pretty cool. It's, as someone who's into the original show, it's nice. Here's the cores that come with it. So you got a Fire Fist. I'm not 100% sure if these are the cores that came with it, because I have a lot of Baku cores. But 150 B power for both, and then 4 damage, 2 damage. So not too bad. The one downside to Dragonoid, as you can see here, his B power is pretty low, 200. So it makes up for it with the higher damage, but if you're putting this thing into a brawl, make sure you have some ability cards ready to throw down, especially if you have one where the lower B power wins. Sorry, again, I'm used to the old show. Maybe we should stop talking about B and G power and just roll the thing. So it gets a little stuck, but here's what Dragonoid looks like popped out. Now, sometimes this wing will get stuck. I don't have any other Dragonoids to compare it. Whether it's a common issue, I would assume it is a common issue, just so you guys know. But yeah, you look at the face here, and it's very Helios-like. I don't understand why they'd go with a Helios type look. You can even see he's got the core there, which is very reminiscent of earlier Dragonoids. Ultimately, I think for a core Bakugan, it's not bad. His wings are nicely painted there. I mean, we're not expecting like Bakutech quality here, but I still think it's very nice. They're a little short. Same thing with his arms and his feet, but ultimately, it's simple. It's very nice and simple compared to the later seasons of Bakugan we got in the original series where everything started to get more complicated. It's a nice change of pace, but if you're looking for something a little bit more, like I was, here you have Dragonoid Ultra. Now, Dragonoid Ultra, he has more orange to him, as you can see. He's got these peg things, not to be confused with pegging. This is a somewhat clean channel. He's got nice sculpted wings. You can even see that from the ball form, which is very nice. You can see the paint apps from the tail as well. Now, the thing with Ultra Bakugan is with normal Bakugan, their magnet is down at the bottom, so they just sit on the Baku cores right there. These ones are actually on the heads. They're kind of like Baku Sky Raiders, which is pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this on camera here, but take the Baku cores, see if we can. It's hard on a coffee table with a camera in the way. There, he kind of did it. Now, as you can see, Dragonoid Ultra has a thing for throwing his cores. That's because the wings here spread out all the way, which is great if you don't like manual parts, but he'll just kind of yeet the cores off, which is not good in the game. He does have 2 manual parts. He's got his arms that fold all the way out here. He kind of looks like a T-Rex with these arms. It's kind of weird. As you can see, 500 B power, which is an improvement from the regular Dragonoid. And he does the same amount of damage. So if you're hoping for a little more damage with your Dragonoid, 5 damage is still a lot. But there's that. If you want to look at the differences in terms of the cards, if I can pick this guy up. Here's what they look like. So this one's screaming. That's the only difference in terms of cards, pretty much. And they're kind of flipped. So if you're a big card collector, you'll be a little disappointed by that. The cores he comes with, and these are the same for Hyper Dragonoid Ultra as well. You got a Fire Fist and a Magic Shield. I don't know if I said Magic Shield for this one. It is Green Fist. Or just Fist. I'll have to look that up. I haven't played the game much. I don't have many friends. But 250 B power for this one, 3 damage. And then 650 B power, which is ridiculous if you land on this. Yeah, you'll be good in a brawl situation. Unless an opponent, again, pulls out a card where lowest B power wins. Ultimately, I was disappointed with this guy in his out form, I guess. He's got some good paint apps there. His horn is short and stubby, which I don't like, but at least it's pointed in the right direction, unlike this Dragonoid. And unlike this Dragonoid, where his horn is an actual piece that goes up. And you can do that and make him look really derpy. This one is a sculpted horn. So this doesn't go in or anything. His wings look very nice. They're a very nice shape. They got some good paint apps. Same with the core there. The core there looks a little big. He's got some nice green apps there. I don't like the tail. It looks I don't know. And it sucks for closing this guy up too. It won't bend at all, and it's very frustrating. In the head, ultimately, he looks like a dinosaur for some reason. For some reason, I'm getting dinosaur vibes. I didn't actually tell you how to close these guys. I'll do that with Dragonoid Ultra here. So with regular Dragonoid, you just tuck everything in, then the wings, then the tail here. Make sure everything's tucked in. Sometimes things will pop out. Dragonoid Ultra is a little tricky, I find, just because this tail isn't pliable at all. So tuck the arms in, then you gotta tuck the head in. I'm trying to do this with the camera in the way. The legs are interesting. They're like tree trunks. They're very big legs. You gotta do that with the knees first, and then you gotta roll them back, kind of like they're wheels. Then you gotta hold them there, and then take the tail, and you gotta make sure the tail is pressed all the way, or else it won't fold. And then you gotta get the wings in. I found this guy folds easier once you're experienced with Hyper Dragonoid Ultra, because that's easier to close. And then you tuck his little backpack in. So that's Dragonoid Ultra. I didn't like the sculpt of him. I thought it was a little too chubby. yeah, a little more streamlined would be my preference. So overall, it was an 0 for 2 when it came to Dragonoids. Then I discovered Hyper Dragonoid Ultra. So the ball form is very similar to regular Dragonoid Ultra, except the wings are a little less sculpted, but there's a trade-off for that, and it's a big trade-off in this guy's favor. But this one looks a little bit cooler. You can't see the paint apps on the tail, but this guy rolls better. A lot better. And because of another feature, which I'll show you, he doesn't yeet his cores so much. He comes with an evolution card instead. So you play it like an ability card. It has a 2 energy cost. So that's really cheap for this compared to some. And in exchange for that, you get an 800 B power and 8 damage, which is really good. There we go. And it was off camera, but whatever. I'll take what I can get. So here's what he looks like. Now you're probably thinking, Sean, how is this an improvement from this? Like, this looks pretty cool compared to this. Well, this guy looks cooler with his manual parts out. Now, as you can see with the wings, they are manual, but he's got 2 sets of wings, which are really cool. So competes with the wings of this guy, but because they're manual, he doesn't eat his cores off. And he's also got a much better horn, I think. This one's short and stubby. This one's long, green. It sticks out. He's got a much better core in there, which is much nicely painted. This guy's legs are a little bit better with the paint apps. The tail is much better on Hyper Dragonoid here. It's longer and it's much more pliable, so it makes it easier to close. Although this one has more paint apps. So if you like paint apps, you'll like the regular Dragonoid Ultra more. But he's also got arms that fold down. Now, these don't fold out all the way like regular Dragonoid Ultra. So instead of getting T-Rex arms, you get Napoleon Dynamite arms. So ultimately, in terms of Dragonoid arms, it's a big 0 for 3. But that's whatever. One thing I like, though, and not a lot of people talk about this, the head's actually somewhat posable. So you can do it straightforward looking at you, or if you want it looking up at you, you can also do that. So it's actual articulation, actual posable articulation with Bakugan, which is a cool feature. I'd like them to do that. That would be really cool, actual posable Bakugan, kind of like in the show. Now, to close this guy, it's same thing. Fold the manual parts down, including the arms. These arms are stopped by a little notch right there on the leg, if you can see that. So if you want to take a file and file that, then feel free. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to wreck my Drago. And you do the same thing. The tail's much easier. And you do that. And then just pop it open and you're ready for battle. So, all in all, I would recommend Hyper Dragonoid the most because it's treated like a Dragonoid Ultra. So you already get all the benefits, the 500 B power and the 5 damage, and you get the cores as well. And you get the Evo card. So, and it's a cheap Evo card too. You don't have to pay a lot to get that Evo card. And in my opinion, it looks better. If you like the look of Dragonoid Ultra, go for Dragonoid Ultra. By all means, it's easier to get in stores because Wave 5 hasn't come out in Canada yet. I had to get this guy off eBay. I got these 2 at my local Walmart. That's pretty much it. This is my Drago right here. This is going to be in my Bakugan deck, and hopefully I can get in some tournaments with this thing. So, thanks for watching, guys. I know this is a rough Bakugan video. I hope to do more of these if you're interested. If not, that's cool too. I don't mind. I just really like Dragonoids, and I thought that I might as well show mine off. So, thanks for watching. I'm Sean Reimer. I don't rhyme. Thanks for watching.